And welcome back, everybody. This is Movies and Beyond. Back to the normal show. Kyle, I've already seen you today. But how are you doing? How's your day going?
Juice. That's why you didn't want to take the extra Red Bull.
I've got plenty.
Fucking hell, mate. You're going to die of a heart attack. I swear to God.
That's already established.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, we've been away for a while. We've done some videos. We haven't done a lot of videos because Deadpool and Wolverine were coming out.
Different ones.
Been doing
Yeah.
different videos, and we didn't really want to get Deadpool and Wolverine spoiled for us. And we knew we had a busy weekend coming up with Comic-Con, so we was like, right, we'll just have I wouldn't say a week off because I'd say we put in a lot of work last week, but back to the normal program now. So, Kyle, let's jump into it. Vought Rising. This came to us from The Boys Season 5 panel. And not only did we learn that Jensen Ackles is going to have a big role in The Boys Season 5, which we kind of found out at the end of The Boys Season 4. He's there in the little chamber thing. He's getting a prequel series with Aya Cash, who played Stormfront. It's going to be set in the 1950s, and it's going to be, set in 1950s New York, and the rising of Vought, I guess. So, what do you think of this? A prequel.
So, this is to be expected, first off. I think I have a couple points to say about this. First off, yeah, it's to be expected that we're getting a spin-off, and it's not really surprising that it's set in the past. Things can be set in the past and work really well, of
A
course.
spin-off about Soldier Boy.
All across social, not social, all across different forms of media, doing prequels can be very, turn out to be very, very good. So, another point I want to make is fucking Soldier Boy. Who doesn't want more Soldier Boy? Jensen Ackles, this guy, he stands out really, really well, despite the colourful characters we have in The Boys already. We've got a wide range of great characters in that show. And Soldier Boy just managed to stand out, and he's only in, one season? So,
And I think he's properly, he's only in about 5 of them episodes.
Yeah,
So,
but it's one of those things of again, he's another point. Right, we'll move on from that. Another point I want to make quickly. You said this to me. He's definitely not Batman now. That's pretty much confirmed because he can't possibly be doing stuff in the DC universe and in this Vought universe. I don't think it's possible. I think his work schedule is going to be quite busy now with this new spin-off show.
yeah.
One last point I want to make is we spoke about this before. I say it every time. Callum enjoyed it. I didn't. I thought it was not that great. I thought it was pretty bad. The Gen V show, I didn't enjoy it. It was our first spin-off of The Boys. I love The Boys. The show, even like the 4th season, as weak as it was, I still loved every minute of watching them.
So not as weak as it was, even though it's the weakest season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm saying Gen V is, for me, it's bottom tier. I didn't enjoy that. The jokes didn't land for me. The story I just felt was very stupid, and it just felt, almost predictable. Like you could predict what was happening with the 3 episodes I watched.
Yeah, 3 episodes that you watched.
Yeah, I did give it 3 episodes.
You give it 3 episodes.
It launched with 3 episodes. I thought, I'll sit down. I dedicated a day to just sit down and watch them. And I was so let down and disappointed. There is a couple of characters, and I know that Soldier Boy, again, he shows up in this show. But, yeah, I'm not, when I went into season 4 of The Boys, I wasn't worried because, I had still had confidence, and I'm glad I did. I held out faith, despite me not liking Gen V. with this, I'm still holding out great faith because it's Soldier Boy and obviously Stormfront as well. She was a great character in season 2. So it'll be really cool to see these two characters on screen
Yeah.
together.
So look, Stormfront is a great character as well. These guys aren't heroes, so
Yeah.
it's going to be an interesting dynamic. The American soldier and the Nazi,
Yeah.
coming together. And we know they knew each other because Soldier Boy mentions it at Herogasm. I'm pretty sure they founded it.
Yeah.
He said him in a soup called Liberty, which was what she was called before she was Stormfront. So,
Yeah.
yeah, look, it's going to be nice to have them both back. I don't think I'd have accepted anything else but a Soldier Boy spin-off. Yes, please, because what's been my biggest complaint of The Boys Season 4?
No Soldier Boy.
No Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
So,
It's like, it's like we were saying, obviously, Comic-Con happened this weekend. And obviously, with the MCU, the thing that we kind of keep saying is like, oh, I miss RDJ. It's Tony. It's kind of the same with this. I know it's only been, one season, but it's the next season, season 4 that we had.
yeah.
He wasn't in it. But I was just like, I was the same with you. I was like, I miss Soldier Boy just popping up.
You
And
can't introduce your best character and then not have him back for a season.
yeah.
So,
But I'm glad to see that he's also going to appear in season 5.
he's going returning as a regular
Yeah.
in Season 5. So that's
Yeah.
every episode.
Yeah, so that'll be really, really fun and interesting to see. But yeah, I'm still all down for this, despite me not liking Gen V, which is their first spin-off. But that's where I'll stand with it.
It
Yeah,
was funny how we found out they were doing this as well. They were reading it on stage at Comic-Con. And he was like,
Yeah.
I would also like to announce it. Go watch it. It's funny. He literally finds out he's got another job on stage.
I don't know how truth that is. I'd like to think it were true.
They
Just
probably
because,
okayed it with his agent.
yeah, probably. Yeah,
They probably knew he had nothing coming up at this
Yeah.
time. So, and look, he loves being Soldier Boy. And I don't think he's going to be Batman now. But anyway.
Would you? I got a question for you. A little.
Don't
brain
make me
tickle.
choose. Don't
I'm-
make me choose.
yeah.
Don't make me choose.
Would you? Would you have him, Jensen Ackles, appear as the Batman in James Gunn's new DC universe alongside our new Superman, or would you prefer him as Soldier Boy? Who?
I'd rather get another 2 more seasons worth of Soldier Boy content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I do think, I don't know where they could fit it. I feel like it's a bit tricky to fit something like that in. Maybe in like Secret Wars, but imagine if he's like shows up as a cameo, just as a variant of Captain America. I think that'd be pretty funny.
That'd be pretty
to see.
funny. Yeah.
Maybe he's
In a
he's
green
like the variant
suit
of
with a green shield. And it's like,
maybe he's like the or maybe he's like a variant of US Agent or the Hydra Captain Hydra. That'd be pretty cool.
it
to
would
see.
be pretty funny to see. But yeah, no. Because look, I'm not going to say anyone can play Batman. There's a lot of people out there who can play Batman. There's only one person playing Soldier Boy. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of hell, let's get on to our next topic. We got a teaser for Hellboy about 3 weeks ago. They've released a full trailer now. Me and Kyle watched it yesterday. This came out at Comic-Con. And look, we quite liked the last teaser. I liked this trailer. Kyle, do you like this trailer?
Yeah, so this trailer is definitely it definitely pushes that horror element
Yeah.
of this. Like, I'm not going into this thinking it's like a anti-hero or superhero-esque film. It's definitely, sci-fi, a little bit of sci-fi, but a lot of horror.
A lot of horror. And there's one thing I want to address right now. Going off the comments we got on the last video, not a lot of people was liking this trailer. They weren't liking the look of Hellboy. They're saying go back to the Ron Perlman ones. I think what we have to preface saying right now is, if they came out tomorrow and said Guillermo del Toro and Ron Perlman are reuniting for Hellboy 3, we'd be over the moon. We'd be so happy. But we need to look at it in reality. That ain't happening. I'd love it to happen, but it ain't
I
happening.
mean, shit. Do you know what? I'm going to disagree just a little bit, but I think it's still in the realm of possibility.
And do you know what would make it in the realm of possibility?
Just with the success of everything that's happening right now.
If this comes out and it's successful, I think that could help its case. Look, this has only got a $20 million budget. So it doesn't have to leap too far to make its money. Whereas, the 2019 one had a $50 million budget, and I'm pretty sure the older ones had higher budgets and barely made any money. And realistically, Guillermo del Toro wanted more money for a third one. He likes having these high budgets. It'd be nice if he could, work in a smaller parameter, but he can't. But anyway, this trailer, I loved it again. Look, it's doubling down on the horror elements. What was the budget for the first Hellboy was 45 million, I believe, and then it doubled for Hellboy 2.
Are we talking Hellboy? Obviously, Hellboy won the original film. 66 million USD for the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
which grossed 99.8 million against the production budget between it's 60 between 60 and 66 million, so somewhere between there.
So yeah. We're not getting a Ron Perlman one, and I think Ron Perlman's a bit too old for it now. But this looks great.
I disagree. I still think it could happen, but I am still all down for this. I know there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, it looks really weird. The makeup doesn't look great." I think it looks fine. It looks more like the comic, to be honest. That's not shitting on the previous ones like Ron Perlman. It's just this just looks really sort of comic accurate. I mean,
it's undeniable that that's Hellboy.
Yeah. It definitely doesn't look cheap by any means.
And look, I'm going into this for story, not for how Hellboy looks. Sorry, people are going to hate me saying that, but I'm going into it for story. And right now, story-wise, this looks great. The comic that this is based off, I've read the first couple of pages of it, and it's actually really... I got I'm probably going to buy it. I got the preview on the Amazon and just had a nice flick through. I was like, right, I'm actually going to probably buy this and read through it. It's a nice, contained story. So I'm excited for this. Seems to be a few people against it, but look, I think it could be great.
I hope it does well.
Well, on a $20 million budget, it doesn't need to do incredibly well.
Yeah, and I hope if it does do well, it doesn't, get too big for its boots and, try the budget and make a terrible sequel.
Well, the thing with this is
tons of action.
This is a contained story, The Crooked Man.
Yeah.
A very contained story, so this could be a very good one and done. It doesn't even need a sequel. Obviously, success breeds sequels if it is successful.
Yeah, if you're looking at, like, say, movies like, Five Nights at Freddy's, which was on 20 million budget as well. 20 million budget, yeah. It was, it was clear that, I'm not, like, a big fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, the game, or really the film. But you could tell that they wanted a sequel. Hellboy gives off the vibe that it's like, it doesn't need one. I agree with you.
Yeah.
One and done. But if this does manage to do really, really well, which I think it probably will. The Hellboy IP is it's...
Well, how much did the last one make?
Let's have a look-see.
Because I'm getting major Dread vibes from this. Dread, one of the most underrated comic book films of all time. If you haven't seen it, starring Carl Urban, fighting through the tower block, Judge Dredd is fantastic. But how much did the last Hellboy movie make?
Ooh, it failed really hard. So, with a budget of 50 million USD, that's US dollars, it earned only around 44 million. I think that's in total. So it didn't even make its budget
So
back.
it didn't even make its budget back. So that flopped like a
No.
motherfucker. So,
Yeah.
44 million, you're saying, yeah?
Yeah.
If this film can make half of what that made and bring the Hellboy audience in, it's breaking even with a little bit more. I don't think they're going to push the marketing too much on this. I think because it's coming out around Halloween, they're kind of hoping that the horror movie vibes are going to play into that. Hopefully
Yeah, I
positive.
definitely think the Halloween release date is, it's not Halloween exactly, but it's around October.
Yeah,
It's definitely going to help push it to help, to different, all sorts of different people. People going to see the trailer for this before the films, and the closer it gets to Halloween, it's like, oh, that's a horror film. Let's go check it out. It looks
yeah,
fun, but it also looks like a horror film.
yeah,
So perfect. It's Halloween. Let's go see it.
definitely. So let us know, guys, what you think of Hellboy. Do you think it's going to be shite? Do you think it's going to be good? We're interested to hear what you guys think. But Kyle, let's get on to the biggest win in the MCU in a very, very long time. Deadpool and Wolverine has made $438 million worldwide. That is nearly $500 million. So,
All there.
yeah. Fuck. Obviously, the word of mouth worked with this. What do we think we're looking at for a second weekend, if you had to guess? Do you think we're going to have a massive drop? Or do you think people are going to be going back to see it? Because we've seen it 3 times. So, we're definitely contributed a bit in there.
Yeah. I think definitely people are still wanting to go see it again. Like I said, the great thing about this film is it has so much rewatchability. We said this about Shang-Chi. You could stick that film on at any time, and it's so just you want to watch it.
Yeah.
That's not to say like movies, say like Endgame, Infinity War, all these other great movies, and not even comic book films. It's just certain ones you kind of have to be in the mood for, like, But with Deadpool and Wolverine, it just watching it, you feel so great watching it. It gets you pumped, it gets you excited. The trailers are meant to do that, and I felt like they did pretty well. But when you start the film with the opening that it has, and the humor, the action, all the elements to it, you know, it's a film you could easily go and sit and watch and go rewatch again. You
Yeah.
know, it doesn't have much rewatchability in looking for sort of Easter eggs. I'll say there's a couple little things here and there, but they don't really have Easter eggs in there for the sort of like hidden. They're
No,
just
there.
they'll show them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're there, and they'll sort of they'll even acknowledge them. For example, like the Ant-Man head, the Ant-Man suit, and everything. Cool Easter egg to you, Ant-Man. All these other little things, the bits and bobs there. Obviously, we won't spoil it here if
There.
you haven't seen it.
We have got a spoiler
Go
reviewer,
see it.
if you want to go check that
Yeah,
out.
there's a spoiler. Yeah, there's a spoiler, and it's a discussion, and
Yeah.
then there's a spoiler, non-spoiler review
Yeah. No.
just after we've seen it.
Definitely. So it's at 438 million. Do you think this film will get to 1 billion?
I think easily. Yeah,
I've I think it's crossing it as well. And look, I think what really helped with this with the worldwide box office numbers is look, it got a China release, so that really helped bolster the box office up, and it opened everywhere concurrently. Sometimes it's like a staggered release. Like we've known it, we get Marvel films a week before. In the past, before they get them in America. The one time though where it's been like fuck you is when the fucking World Cup are on, when Ant-Man and the Wasp, the first Ant-Man and the Wasp came out, and we had to wait a month to see it. By that point, it was already all spoilt for me.
yeah.
So that really pissed me off. But anyway, I think this film's going to hit 1 billion.
I fucking hate football. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think this film's going to hit 1 billion. I don't think it'll have trouble hitting 1 billion. Is the MCU saved? Like we said, we don't know. This is a very different freak sort of event sort of movie. We're going to find out when Brave New World comes out.
See, I'll say this though, I am definitely more confident in Brave New
It's a
World
step in the right direction.
after well, not because of this film, it's because of what they did at Comic Con.
The Comic-Con
The
panel,
whole
yeah.
thing at Comic Con, yeah, that gave me a fuck ton of confidence. Like, even after this film, yeah, I was still on the fence of the Brave New World, but then Comic Con hit, all the announcements that happened, RDJ's Doctor Doom, they're changing all the Avengers, well, changing the Avenger film. We've got the Russos back. I have more confidence in the MCU going forward.
Yeah.
This movie definitely, it helped a little bit, just because this is a very, like you say, it's a very its own film.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's still a Fox film from the past.
Look,
But
general
you
going
know,
movie audience, they're going to think, what were the last Marvel film I saw? Deadpool and Wolverine. That were really fucking good. I'll go see Captain America. Maybe. That's how that works sometimes.
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just saying for the more of a hardcore Marvel fans, it's definitely, it's helped
Oh,
them.
I definitely feel the way I felt 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say. When they did that big reveal and it's like, this is what we've got coming out. I definitely feel like that.
Yeah, but when they first announced obviously Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, I wasn't all that excited for Kang Dynasty or Secret
They
Wars
never
before.
announced a film called Kang Dynasty or Avengers Secret Wars until this weekend.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is what they'd want you
yeah.
to think from the way they announced it. But yeah, look, Deadpool and Wolverine winning big. I'm happy about it. I'm pretty sure Kyle's happy about it. We're probably going to see it again some point this week. Maybe another 2 times this week. Who knows? So we'll definitely be contributing to the second weekend as well. But yeah, we'll definitely talk about the second weekend because it'll be so interesting to see.
I'll just say, you might think, oh, it might drop off. Well, no, I don't think so, because our screening had to open 2 more screens at midnight because all the screens were getting filled up. So they opened 2
Well,
more.
I think
Every showing out of all the 3 showings we've been to this weekend, they've all been absolutely jam packed full.
you look at a film like Avengers Infinity Endgame, which had a $350 million opening weekend. At its second weekend, it had a 45% drop. That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know if this can carry that sort of energy to its second weekend, but when you have such a big opening weekend like this, like in the US, it had, 205 million. That's what came from the US domestic box office. If it can have, a 50% drop, that's still $100 million in its second weekend. But people will be like, oh, it's got a 50% drop. Even if it has a 70% drop, it's still making a lot of money in its second weekend, and a lot more money than most films are making in the box office this year.
Yeah. No, you got to think of like the Fox audience of the X-Men films and stuff like that. So, you've got that audience alongside the standard MCU audience, so that'll definitely help it. Um, this film was obviously, it was one of those films that were like, you need to book it as soon as the tickets were
The tickets went
available.
up 2 months before the film came out.
Yeah. And obviously, of course, the hardcore Marvel fans like us, we got the tickets, we secured them, and you didn't, unless you booked tickets, you weren't seeing this film really.
Yeah.
You know,
Unless you were
you
going by
still
yourself, you could have probably got a seat here or there, or
yeah, but thankfully we've been lucky. We managed to grab a seat, but shit, man, only just
yeah. No. Great film.
for our
Great.
third showing.
Yeah, great weekend. But yeah, look, this is step in the right direction. It's going to do a lot for the box office this year as well. Do you think this will be the biggest film of the year? Do you think it could dethrone Inside Out, Inside Out 2, which is at 1.5 billion?
What's that?
1.5.
Um,
I'm pretty sure
Inside Out 2?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Biggest film of the year.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it had like $150 million opening weekend just in the US, or 160 million. So it's had Deadpool and Wolverine's had the biggest opening weekend of the year, but
Wow.
yeah.
That is nuts. Worldwide, fucking hell, 1.5 billion.
So, but Kyle, this is coming from a company that's failing and gone broke and gone woke, so it can't possibly have a film that's 1.5 billion and then have another successful film.
I don't know if it will succeed that just because of obviously the R rating.
Yeah, a lot of the audience for Deadpool and Wolverine, it's going to be very heavily up front the box office.
Yeah.
It's going to that first weekend and the first 2 weekends, it's going to make a bulk of its money, and it'll be people like me and you who are seeing it in week 3 and week 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, that'll. I'm just happy that this film's success will upset some people. Anyway, let's get on to the next topic. House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7. Me and Kyle came together today to watch the film, to watch the show. You don't look impressed with that, Kyle.
No. No, I do not.
We watched House of the Dragon, Season 2, Episode 7 together. The penultimate episode. And boy, this episode was a fucking fire and bloodbath. Them poor dragon seeds. Spoilers, by the way. Just getting led out onto that thing. And it's like, alright guys, let's see if this dragon wants you. So, yeah, what do you think of today's episode?
I really enjoyed it. You know, obviously, of course, we'll talk about Season 2 when the finale hits as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I just think, I don't know, there's something about it that feels very slow.
It's
been
a very slow season.
Yeah, it's definitely picked up the pace a little bit in this episode. It didn't give me a satisfaction. It didn't satisfy me fully because it kind of just ends when the two dragons get sort of, they could have had it where they focus on, one dragon for like half the episode and then the other dragon for the other half of the episode. Instead, it just kind of kept going through what we already know. Do you know what I mean? Like, I felt like scenes where it's like, we could be made, lords and ladies if I get this dragon or whatever. And it's like, all right, we get it. You struggling. Just fucking go do it.
Don't put your poor person struggles on me.
No, it's not that. It's just they've already established that they are struggling and things like that. So yeah, it's a good episode. I'm not gonna say it was great.
Yeah,
but it's a good episode.
I tell you what, my favourite bit of the episode was Oscar Tully. He just had some big old Tully balls and just put Damon in his place.
Yeah, the Tully stuff, Damon being stuck at that fucking Harrenhal castle all season.
Yeah, that's kind
of
been...
it's been a bit. It's kind of like instead of being stuck at a farm in the season 2 of Walking Dead, it's fucking Harrenhal. So
yeah, they managed to make one of the coolest castles, one of the most boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really thought he was going to get out of there at some point, but no, still at Harrenhal.
Still having dreams of fucking his mother.
Well, or his brother. Whoever, Damon wants to fuck anyone. But yeah, no, the Dragon Seed stuff we got. Hugh the Hammer and Ulf the Grey. I believe that's his name. I liked Hugh's claiming a vermithor. I thought that was great. He steps up to the dragon. He's about to kill a woman. And he's like, over here. And he's just in his face. He's like... But then Ulf is just, Silverwing's there, and it's like, just comes across it, and he's like, yeah, you'll do, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like visually it looked great, but I don't know, there was no sort of oomph
Yeah.
to it. You know what I mean?
Aemond
Like,
going for
yeah.
Vhagar, and then just fucking, fuck that. 3 dragons. So, which he wouldn't be in that fucking predicament if he didn't fucking try and kill his own fucking brother. So, yeah. You excited for next week's episode? Do you think we're going to have a big finale?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think, yeah.
I'm just a little sad that this season's been as slow as it has been, but
You excited for episode 4?
I'm still excited. Huh?
Do you think it's going to be as big as episode 4?
I definitely think it'll be bigger than that.
Bigger than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because season 4, episode 4 is the biggest sort of like, episode with the whole Clash of the Dragons, but it's certainly not the biggest episode, I think, out of even Game of Thrones as a whole.
No, definitely not. And look, we're in a spot where it's like, we were told we're only getting 8 episodes because they were spending more money on, the visual effects, the dragons. And we were like, okay, that's fair enough. You want to put more money into that? Cut us 2 episodes. That's fine. Right now, I ain't seen where that money's gone. Apart from episode 4.
Yeah, and like, to be honest, I'm kind of glad it was only 8 episodes because fuck me, if this went on for much longer, this slow drip feed of what's happening with the plot, I just don't think it would have really helped the season as a whole.
No, sometimes it just needs to be 8 episodes. But yeah, look, I think next week's episode is going to be great. Will season 2 compare as well to season 1? Probably not by the end of it, but it's going to have some great episodes in it, and it's still better than most shows that are on TV right now. By a mile. Will it compare to season 2 of Game of Thrones? I know I look at season 1 of House of the Dragon, season 1 of Game of Thrones, and go, season for season 1 of House of the Dragon's better than season 1 of Game of Thrones. I probably won't be saying that at the end of season 2 of House of the Dragon.
No.
But who knows? Who knows? So, how are you rating this episode?
7.5, I think.
I'll sit at 7.5 with you.
Yeah.
Right. Guys, that will do us for today. We've been Movies and Beyond. I'm Callum. That's Kyle. Kyle, anything you want to add before we go?
No.
No, he never does. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you in the next video, whatever that may be. Why are you waving, you freak? Stop that. You piece of fucking shit.